वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay, so we were looking at Matup-artha pratyayas. What are Matup-artha pratyayas? Those which have the meaning of Matup. What is the meaning of Matup? Matup meaning is tadasya asti tasmin iti. Tat asya asti. That has this. Or that is in this. Tat asmin asti. So that has this or that is in this. These are the meanings. Two meanings. In these two meanings, the pratyayas called Matup and any other pratyayas which have the same meaning are used. They are called Matup-artha pratyayaha. Matup-artha asya asti, asmin asti iti Matup-artha. It's the extra. Okay? That Matup-artha itself is a Matup-artha pratyaya. Okay? Arthiya it becomes. All right. So, Matup-artha pratyaya. So, in that, we saw just because it has it, normally Matup is not used. Just because I have 1 rupee, I'm not called a moneyed person. Just because I get angry one time, I'm not called an angry person. There has to be something more, Vishesha. What were they saw? Bhuma, many or a lot. Ninda, something which is blameworthy. Prashamsa, something which is praiseworthy. Right? Then we saw Nitya Yoga, always connected and occasionally connected. So in all these meaning, extra meanings, Matup tends to be used. Okay? And then we saw the Matup pratyaya will content is what? Mat. U and Pakara go. Mat. And that Mat, that Makara of Matup becomes Vakara. Sometimes. When does it happen? When the word to which Matup pratyaya is added either is ending in Avarna or Makara or has an Upadha, a penultimate Avarna or Makara. In these conditions, the Makara of Matup becomes Vakara. So the pratyaya becomes as though Vat. Instead of Mat, it will look like Vat. One more rule we saw in that context was, if the word which precedes the Matup pratyaya, the final letter happens to be a Jhai letter. A Jhai means a consonant which is a class consonant. Class consonant is from ka to ma. Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, ta, ta, da, da, na, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. All the way. Ka to ma. Ta, ta, da, I left out. Okay. So anyway, all of them. Among those 25, leave out the nasals. Everything else is called what? Chai. So any chai anta, if it's preceding also, you will get makara become vakara and matup, you'll get vat. All right. So these are the main rules we should remember. If we don't remember this, Matup-artha is gone from our head. This is very important. And then we saw that there are other pratyayas also. A few other pratyayas we looked at last time. We have to look at a few more. But the most important ones is Matup. Among the most important one is Matup. And when does it become Vat? So that much, if you remember, a lot of work is already done. Okay, clear so far? Any questions? Good. So now let us go a little further. Oh, 1 second. Share. Okay. You're saying the Siddhant, the Ashtadhyay? Good. So this is beginning. Tadasya asti asmin iti matup. This is what we just talked about. The next sutra was rasadibhyascha. So we saw rupa, rasa, gandha, a few words like that. In the sense of a guna alone, it will take matup. Otherwise, it won't take it. Okay. So these became what? Rupavan, Gandhavan, Shabdavan, and one more extra word, Sneha, Snehavan. Okay. This will not take other pratyas, it will only take Matu. This is a Purva Apavada. We saw that last time. And we saw Pranisthat Ataha Lach Anyatarasyam. So when there's a part of the body, then the pratyaya will be what? Lach. Lach. And should be ending in A. If there's a part of a body ending in A. So example was what? Chuda, crown of the head. Asya asti, iti chudalaha. That lach becomes, lach anyaha becomes lajanyaha. Lajanyatarasyam. Lach anyatarasyam. Lach means what? Pratyaya is lach. Chakara is its letter, so you'll get la. Chudala becomes the word. Chudalaha. Karnikalaha. Why? This chuda is ending in A, karnika is ending in A. This is what is being talked about. All right, not a very significant sutra. Then we didn't worry about Siddhmadihi. We didn't even look at this. We may have just looked at it, but it's not very critical again for us. Can leave that out. Phenat. Phena is foam. After that, you get a pratyaya, ilach. Lomadi, pamadi, pichadibhyaha, sha, na, ilachaha. So we saw last time, and there was some confusion. So I'll make it clearer. Lomadi is one group of words. Pamadi is another group of words. And Pichadi is another group of words. Three groups of words we have. So for these three, we have three pratyas. Sha, na, and ilach. So Lomadi will take sha, Pamadi will take na, and Pichadi will take ilach. Is that clear? That's what will happen. So that is what is this sutra about. So what happens here? The words are many in the group. So, but we looked at what? Lomashaha, Romashaha, Babrushaha. So these are Babru means shining. Kapishaha. So this Lomashaha you will see now and then. Romashaha, Lomashaha. Other words we normally don't end up seeing commonly. Okay. Then we saw the Pamadi, which we hardly see anything. Okay. And then we saw the last one, which is Pichadi. Pichilaha again, not very common, not very useful to us. Okay. Prajna, Shraddha, Archabhya, Naha. Important. Why? Because the word Prajna. Prajna asyasti, na pratyaya we saw. Adi vriddhi will happen. You will get Prajna. Important word for us. Prajna. Prajna asyasti iti Prajna. Typically used for a person in a deep sleep state is called Prajna. Okay. Shraddha asya or asmin astiti Shraddha. So Shraddha can mean a person who has Shraddha. Shraddha can mean a karma in which there is Shraddha. Both meanings will apply. Typically, we use word Shraddha for the karma in which is done with Shraddha. Shraddha. Okay. So again, these are, only three words, not very significant for us. Tapaha Sahasra will take a pratyaya vini, which will give you what? Win and in. Tapaswin and Sahasrin, 2 words. Only 2 words from this sutra, not particularly useful. And it's mentioned here because these 2 words will also take an. That's the main reason he's mentioned these two. So you will get tapasa and Sahasra will become Sahasra. Upadesha Sahasri. Remember text Upadesha Sahasri. What is Sahasri? That which has 1,000. So if you looked at the previous sutra, the word should have been Sahasrin. It should have been Upadesha Sahasrini. But we got Upadesha Sahasri. Why? Because An is also valid. Sahasra can become Sahasra. Tapas can become Tapasa. Adivritti. Clear? So these words are important for us because Tapasa and Tapaswin, both words we will see. What do they mean? One who has tapas in his life. And not once in a while, we should take probably Nitya Yoga or Prashasya, some extra meaning we should take. Clear? Okay. Now, we'll move further. Sikata Sharkarabhyam cha. Not very important, just so you see some words, okay? Sikata means sand. Sikata means sand. Sharkara means sugar. 2 more words are being covered now. What is the pratyaya? Chakarat, and will walk in from the previous sutra. Okay. So what will you get now? Sikata plus and, what will happen? Somebody help me. Sikata plus and. Nakara is there. Who wants to help me? Yes, Harsha.
Only Adi Vritti will happen. Saikata.
Saikata. So if you've seen, correct. So you may have seen a verse which says, labheta sikatasu tailamapi yatnatah pidayan. So if you, to show the importance of effort, if you press sand with great effort, that will give you oil. Just so you remember the word sikata. And if you remember chamaka, sikatashchame, you will see that word. Sikatashchame. You ask for mountains, you ask for sand. Nowadays, you have to ask for sand, River sand is not available. You have to buy M sand to make your houses because there is nobody will allow you to take river sand from the rivers now. So prayer is valid, You have to pray for sand also. Anyway, sikata is sand. Saikata is that which is made of sand or that which has sand, a sand castle perhaps. Okay. Sharkara is that which has sugar. It will become what? Sharkara. Okay. So Saikata, and you can see Sharkarasya asti will become what? Sharkara. Only 2 words, not significant. Then Deshe Lubilachau. So, now what he's talking of this, the same sand and sugar, in the meaning of it is there in this place. For such a place, there's a pratyaya specifically. This is just to give you a taste for what kind of pratyayas come, not the words that are so important. So what happens now? Saikata is not just that which has sand. I told you sand castle, but Saikata can mean Saudi Arabia because it's a place where there's sand. It can mean Rajasthan. Saikataha deshaha. Okay. Similarly, if you go to certain sections of UP or Maharashtra or Karnataka, you feel a lot of sugar cane being grown. That will become what? Sharkaraha desha. Okay. And he gives an alternative pratyaya. Ilach also is there. Sikatila Sharkarila. Not significant to us again. Just showing you pratyayas. Danta Unnata Urach. If your teeth are very prominent, you get a pratyaya Urach. So you'll get what? Dantura. That's all, one word. So you can see how Panini is covering one word in the language. The language is already there. So he's just explaining with a pratyaya because normal pratyayas don't fit in here. Then, Usha, Sushi, Mushka, Madho, Raha. What is the meaning in all this? We are doing Matup-artha. Tadasyasti, tasminiti. That doesn't change. All right. So now, what does it mean here? Usha. Usha is really, see now. Ushaha asmin asti iti usharam. Ushaha means salt actually. So a land which is not fertile is called Ushara Pradesha or Ushara Pradesha. That is the Ra Pratyaya. Usha plus Ra becomes Ushara. Clear? Okay. Sushira. Sushi means a, a cavity, a hollow. So a wood with a hollow will be called what? Sushira. Sushi is the word, a hollow or a cavity, and that which has it will be called Sushira. Perhaps like a musical instrument, like a tambura or a tabla, may be called Sushira, potentially. Or it can mean something else which has a hollow. Sin madhu. Madhu means sweetness. That which has sweetness will become madhura. We would never think madhura is tadhita, but madhura is tadhita. Okay. So these are the words here. All right. Then he adds a few more words. Ra prakarane, kha, mukha, kunjebhya upasankhyanam. Upasankhyanam means these are also to be added. These should also be enumerated. So what happens now? Kha. When you kha plus ra, what will you get? Khara. That which has space, there's not space or anything in the mukha, So basically, khara is really talking just about donkey. It's a rudyartha. Don't try to imagine a Matup-artha. Kharaha. So kantha vivaram asmin arthe ayam. So kha is there is space in the throat. Everyone has space in the throat. For some reason, donkey is given name khara. Khara. Kardabaha. Then mukham asya asti. Everyone has a mouth, but the fellow who talks too much is called mukharaha. Okay? Mukhara is not everyone who has a mouth. We all have a mouth. What is extra here? The extra is the fellow talks too much. Vachalaha, vachala, vachata. These are all meanings, similar meanings. Vachala, vachata, you'll see later. Alach pratyaya, atach pratyaya, tadhita. So one who talks too much is called mukharaha. Okay? So he says, you can see, the one who has to say something in every discussion, talkative, noisy, mukharaha. And people nowadays they think mukharaha is a glory sometimes. Anyway. Kunjaha. Hastinaha dantau. Hanuva. It's talking of the jaws or the tusks of an elephant. It's called kunja. That which has it is called kunjara. That's why you can see the word kunjara means elephant. Tadhita. Kunjara is a tadhita pada, which means one who has jaws or teeth. See, Hanuman. Hanuman is what again? Hanu is jaw. Hanu, one who has prominent jaws, is called Hanuman. Okay. So if you ask, what is Hanuman? What is the feature that comes to you? Jaws. Prominent. Hanuman. Here, similar meaning, Kunjara. Okay. Nagaha. Naga is what? A parvata, actually. That which doesn't move. Nagaha santi asmin. See, now asmin artha has come, okay? So, Nagaha santi asmin iti nagaram. So, what do you think Nagara means? Not just a city. Really. It's supposed to mean a city with hills, etc. One place which has hills is called Nagara. But the word has come to mean a city now, generally. Pamsu. Pamsu is there in which Pamsu is dung or manure, called Pamsuram. Ra is a pratyaya. Pandu is brightness. Panduraha. Okay. The last two words I've never seen. Kachuraha I've never seen. Okay. But these are the words. So what do you get now? He first gave a few words, which are only Usha, Sushi, Mushka, Madhu, Raha. Then Vartikakara or Mahabhashyakara came and added Ra Prakarane in this section. Kha, Mukha, Kunje, Bihopasankhyanam. Few more were added. Then one more Vartika is added. Nagapamsu Pandubhyascha iti Vaktavyam. So this looks like Vartika. Vaktavyam is typically Vartika. And this may be Mahabhashyakara. I don't know. But all I'm saying is this is how we add. So we say Uttarottara Muninam Pramanyam. See, first Muni is Panini. Then came Vararuchi. Then came Patanjali. Who is to be taken if three people say something? What Patanjali said will be final. Uttarottara Muninam Pramanyam. The later Muni will have more Pramanyam than the previous one, if there's a contention. Okay? So this is how you enrich it. That's why every day in our prayer we say Bhashyakaram, Patanjalim, Vartikakaram also. Vakyakaram, Varuruchim. Varuruchi is Vartikakaram. So all of them have contributed to this grammar a lot. Okay. So this is the next sutra. So you can see it's not difficult. It's just more words with different pratyayas. Dyu Drubhyam Maha. Dyu is Akasha. Dhru is, I told you, branch last time, if you remember. Pratyaya is Makara. So you get Dyumaha and Drumaha. Two words you will get. That's all. So, Dyumaha means what? Akashaha. Drumaha means what? A tree. Dhru Shakhaha. Two words you get. So you will not get a word Drumat and Dyumat. That won't be there. This Rudhyartha. Rudhi means what? I decide to call something something. So you decide to call this a phone. Okay? But you could have decided to call this gone. Gum. You could have called it gum. Then what will be called? Rudhi. Rudhi means you decide this word will mean this. It doesn't need to have any logic. Vyutpatti means how it's derived. Like, see, the word phone is probably derived from phono, to hear. Therefore, Rudhyartha is there, but Vyutpatyartha is also there. When you say cha is and, or eva is indeed, or definitely, there is no Vyutpatti possible. It is pure Rudhyartha. Like, why do you call a watermelon a melon? That's called just that. It's called Rudhi. So here, Dyuma, Druma are Rudhyartha, which means you don't now make a Dyumat and Drumat. That's not allowed for these words. Ma is there, it's called Nipatana. It becomes like that. Okay? Then. So you can see Kashikakara will say quietly, Dyu Dru Shabdabhyam Mahapratyaya Bhavati Matvarthe. Matvartha is Matu-artha. I said Matu-artha, another way of saying Matvartha. Matu-artha. Rudi Shabdau Etau. They are both used in this sense. Just it's a practice. Rudhi is a practice. Rudishu Matu Punaha Na Vikalpyate. So what do you mean? Once you had Druma, you will not have Drumamat, Dyumamat. Those words won't come. In general, there is a rule. The rule is that if you have multiple pratyayas possible in the Matup-artha, we have to see some more pratyaya meanings like this. Then, if let's say I say Balaha Asya Asti iti Balavan. Okay. Now, you cannot say Balavan Asya Asti iti. You cannot add Matup again. Or Balavan, Balavantah Asmin Santi. You cannot add Matup again. You have to add another pratyaya. You can add another Matup-artha pratyaya, but same Matup you cannot add twice. Now, although here it is not Matup, it is Mat, still Kashikakara is saying in the language, what is not proper is you cannot say Drumamat again. Druma over. Dyuma over. Not very important for us. This is just to show how the language is being presented by Panini. All right. Keshad Vaha. For the word Kesha, the pratyaya is Va. In what sense? Matup-artha. So what will you get? Keshava. What will Keshava mean? One who has either rich hair or thick hair, something you have to add Vishesha. A lot of hair, I don't know. But normally means what? Krishna, Keshava. Okay. Gandhya Jagat Sangyayam. What is the use of this Gandhi for us? But if you add, see, what is the pratyaya in the previous one? Va. Keshavat, Keshat, Vaha. Are you able to see that? Keshat, see this. Keshat, Vaha. What will happen? Jalam Jashonte. Keshad, Vaha. That's what he's saying. Keshad, Vaha. Keshad, Vaha, Anyatarasyam. Then what will happen? Vaha, Anyatarasyam. What will happen? Engaha. You have to get an A now. What Sandhi rule will apply? Sandhi rule, Shivoham Sandhi, you remember? Shivaham becomes what? Shivoham. How? You get U. For first, Ra will come. Repa will come. Sasachyo Ruhu. Then what happens to the Ru?
Atoro papluda.
Ato. Again.
Atoro.
Aplutad. Aplute. Uhu. Adesha is Uhu. You will see that in 61112 or 113. U has to come. Therefore, it becomes A plus U. Guna Sandhi will happen. Becomes O. All this we saw when we saw Visarga Sandhi. Okay? So what will end up with now? Wo. And you will see this very commonly if you observe in Chamaka. Wo namaha, Vrikshebhyo namaha, Wo namaha. Have you heard that? It's not O namaha, it is Wo namaha. You should make it clear. Wo namaha. Why Wo? Vaha namaha, what will happen? Hashicha will apply. Vaha will become Wo. Wo namaha. That Wo, that same rule is applying here, okay? If you observe some rules, you will see. See, now when you see Matup, when you're doing Chamaka, you can also observe Lopa Shakalyasya. You will see it quite common. Because you will find Chama, Cha, Ma will be sometimes. You won't see Me. A will go away. Lopa Shakalyasya or another rule, I don't remember. But I think basically I'm saying you'll see some Lopas happening there, okay? Good place to look at, to see some rules of Sandhi there. All right. So that Va Pratyaya, Keshat, Vaha, Anyatrasyam, optionally, right? Va is coming down to the next sutra. Therefore, what's the next sutra now? Gandhi. Gandhi is the name of a wood, a tree species. Gandhi asya asti. What will you get? Gandhi plus Vaha, Gandhi Vaha. That is the wood by which Arjuna's bow is made is Gandiva. So Gandiva happens to Matup-artha. Not useful to us, okay? Just language I'm showing you. You don't need to know the Gandiva is made of Gandhi wood. We don't even know what Gandhi wood is today. All right? So Ajagat. So Ajagavaha. We don't need it. Don't worry about it. Just showing you how many Matup-artha pratyayas are there here. Forget about this. Kandat. Okay. Rajaha Krishya Sati Parishado Valach. So now what happens here? Valach pratyaya is being talked about. Rajaha Krishya Asuti Parishadaha Valach pratyaya. So what does it mean? What in what sense now he says? Rajaha, impurity. Rajaha asya asminva asti iti rajasvalaha. Feminine, rajasvala. Krishi. I think I mentioned this last time. Krishi, one who has farming, is called Krishi Valaha. So you can see there is a lengthening of the E happens in some places. Okay. Krishi became Krishi Valaha, not Krishi Valaha. And he gives you a reason. Atra Vale iti angasya dirghadesha bhavati. Some rule is there. We won't know all rules in one place. So understand Krishi Valaha means the farmer. Asuti Valaha, some other word, one who has brewing or distillation. So these are the words here. Matravalaha, Bhratravalaha, we saw it very briefly last time. Then Dantashikhat Sangyayam, not necessary for us. We move on. Now there are a lot of words he's listed. This sutra is impossible to read if you try to read here. No? Very difficult. Read here. Jyotsna, Tamisra, Shringinaha, Urjasvinaha, Urjasvalaha, Gominaha, Malinaha, Malimasaha. Where is the pratyaya? There is no pratyaya. This are words which have the Matup-artha in them. That's how they are. He doesn't, Panini says, I'm not going to give you pratyaya for it. It makes no sense. Remember these words. That's all. So what does it mean? It means, he says, asti asminnasti etayoho arthayoho jyotsna tamisra shringina urjasvina urjasvala gominaha tha malimasaha ete shabdaha nipatyante. This is how the words fall in place. That's how they are. Don't add any pratyaya. These words have the Matup-artha in them. So what does it mean? Jyotsna. What does it mean? So he says the word Jyotsna you can't use for anywhere there is light. Jyotsna means moonlight. Rudy again. And the meaning is what? Jyotsna means moonlight. How do you get this word? Jyotis is there in which. What is sna? You imagine whatever pratyaya you want to imagine. Jyotsna is the word. It means moonlight. He's just putting the context that these words, though they are nipatanas, they are having this meaning of has it. So similar example is what? Next is what? Tamisra, darkness. It has darkness. So what does that be? Tamisraha. Tamisraha. Because you see, Ra is coming here. Here what came? Sna came. What? Or you can say Na came. Why put all in one sutra? He says, I don't care. These are the words. Just look at them. Okay? Tamisraha. So, Shringinaha, is one who have horns. Shringinaha. Urjasvinaha. Shaktiman, one who have strength or energy. So, what pratyaya came? Vini pratyaya came. So it's not, he is not really interested in pratyayas. He is telling us these are words as they come. Urjasvalaha. Okay. Similarly, you have the word Gomin. You heard Goman, one who has cows. What is this? Gomin has same meaning, owner of cows. Malin, this word you see, Malina, you see the word. Malina means what? Malaha asya asti. Becomes Malinaha, Malinam, Vastram, Malinam Shariram, etc. Similar word is Mali Masaha. Mala only. He says, you imagine a pratyaya, what? Mali Masa, Imasach pratyaya, you imagine. You have to imagine a lot of things, okay? But Pani just says, these are the words. And he assumes you know what the meanings are. He assumes you know all these words. He's just telling you these words are okay as they are. Okay? So good words here for us are what? Malina is good to remember. Malina. Mali masa. Sometimes you will see that word. Then, the word Jyotsna. You will see sometimes in Upanishad. Cool, like moonlight. Tamisraha. For avidya, they will use sometimes. Tamisra. Darkness. Okay? That which has darkness. Or covers. Those are the words which are useful to us. I'm not seen Urjasvinaha, etc. But just to know. Ata inithanau. This is an important sutra. More important. Why? It's a larger rule, a more general rule. What we saw till now were all very one or two words for each. Now you have one big sutra. So big means a sutra which covers more words. Ataha inithanau. What is ataha? Panchami. That's important to note here. Panchami. Therefore, what does it mean? Adantat pratipadikat inithanau pratyayau bhavatah. So when you have a word ending in at means shorter, then in addition to matup, you may also get two pratyayas, ini and thana. What is ini? E you remove. E is a it letter. In will be the content. And second one is than. Now, than in itself will not give you much. Tasya ikaha iti, there is a rule. What's the rule? Tasya ikaha. So tha will get replaced by ika. Therefore, what will you get now? Ika. It will end in or ika. All right? When will this happen? When the words end in a. Pakshe Matup pratyaya api vidhiyate. So other possibility is Matup also. Matup is not denied. Generally not denied. Exceptionally denied. Okay. So now meaning is tadasya asti tasminiti. What are the examples now? So you can see. Dandaha asya asti iti dandin. Chhatraha asya asti iti chhatrin. Kamaha asya asti iti kamin. Chakraha asya asti iti chakrin. Rathaha asya asti iti rathin. Very straightforward. Keep adding in. How will you decline is important. Dandi, dandinau, dandinaha, dandinam, dandinau, dandinaha, dandina, dandibhyam, nakara will go. When you have pada sanya, nakara will go. When bha sanya, nakara won't go. Dandina, dandibhyam, dandibihi. Dandine, dandibhyam, dandibhya, etc. Very important you know the ending, the way to decline them. Otherwise, all this we are doing becomes useless. Word won't be will not make itself known to you because they decline. So one who has ratha, one ratha, probably many rathas. One who has many wheels, or a very prominent wheel, like Krishna is called Chakrin. Kamin, one who has a very strong desire for something, or many desires. Chatrin, one who has an umbrella. So example is what? Keralinaha, Chatrinaha. This is a common example. Shankara's example. That people in Kerala are with umbrellas. Not everybody. Generally. Okay. Says Emaveva, Sharangin, Gunin, Phalin, Adhikarin. So you hear the word Adhikari is so common. Who is Adhikari for Vedanta? What is Adhikari? Adhikaraha asyasti iti Adhikarin. One who has the qualification. Phalam asyasti Phalin. Gunaha asyasti iti Gunin. Right? Guni. In masculine, Guni. In feminine, Gunini. In neuter, Gunin. Okay? So Guni, Gunini, Gunini, it will become a neuter. All right? Shashin. So he's saying it's like the words will decline like Shashin. I told you already. Dandi, Dandino, Dandinaha. Okay? Stritve rinnebhyo neep. This is what I told you. Nakara ending means you'll get neep pratyaya. Okay? He's very kind, our Ashtadhyayikara. So he's telling you, Napumsakalinge, it will become Dandi, Dandini, Dandini. You won't get Dandin. Nakara will go there. Okay? Then, what happened to Than? There is one sutra, Thasya Ikaha. One sutra, Thasya Ikaha. And therefore, what will happen? Danda plus Than will become Danda plus Ika. Then what will happen? Yasyeti cha. Why Yasyeti cha? What is Yasyeti cha? Iti. Tadhita is anuvritti. So you have a akara, ikara, avarna, ivarna becomes ya. Right? Those will be replaced by what? What will happen? The a will drop, the a or e will drop. Yasetya lopa. Anuvritti. Just so you remember, you'll go back there for a minute. What does it say? Pasya angasya yasya tadhite iti cha lopaha. Iti cha lopaha. So anuvritti is lopaha. What is the lopa of yasya? What is yasya? Avarnasya, ivarnasya. A plus e, ya. So the word which is ending in a or e, when followed at tadhita pratyaya, to be bha, what do you need? That tadhita pratyaya must begin with yakara or what? What is bha?
Yachibam.
Yachibham. What is yach? Yakara and ach. Therefore, when it begins with yakara or ach, then it will become bha. And it's tadhita pratyaya. Then what will happen? This a and e, the final a and e in the previous word will be dropped. Important rule to remember. So ata in it now will bring in ika, and this will be at. At means always ending in shorter, and what is followed is ik. Therefore, yasetya will always apply. So you'll end up with Tandikaha, Chatrikaha, Kamikaha, phalikaha, gunikaha, all these words come. Okay? Then that much. So this rule is something which you should keep in mind. Ata ini thanau. Very important rule comparatively, because a lot of words will come from this. Okay? And we can just go here for a brief trip. 7350. Tasyaikaha. What will it tell us? It is angat parasya pratyayasya adau vidyamanasya thakarasya ik adeshah bhavati. Okay? So it is going to be what? You add, this 7-3 is in Angasya Adhikara. 6-4-1 to 7-4 is Anga Adhikara, if you remember. Therefore, he brought in the word Angat. Sixth case converted to fifth case. Angat parasya pratyasya adau vidyamanasya. Tha in the middle won't get changed. Only if it's the first letter in the pratyaya. That tha will be replaced by ik. Okay? So that rule will cause the change to happen. So he's giving some other example. Revati plus tha. So you'll get Revati plus ika. Then because of ka, kiticha will come, and you'll end up with Raivati. Oh, 1 second. Sekaha ik. No, there's some problem here, looks like. Give me a second. Okay. I'll have to check why he is saying kiticha. Okay. Not an important thing for us right now, but I'm just curious why he took kiticha when it is ika, not a it letter directly here. But don't worry about that right now. Our purpose is to say ika will come as adesha after tha. Okay. So when that happens, you will end up with ata init now will apply, ika will come, dandikaha, kamikaha, etc. will apply. Is this clear? I'm just walking through rules, okay? Not something very complicated. Yes, Avinash.
Swamiji, in this sutra, the alternate form is Vatup, Swamiji, like a Dandavan or Gunavan for all the forms.
You have to look whichever they are. Matup will apply, Vatup will apply, you look at it.
Because Swamiji, that Vatup rule is or also Adanta only, no, Swamiji.
Yeah, it will become. But I'm just saying, look at it. Correct. Basically, I'm saying follow the rules you've already seen, right? Unless you have something more, look at it. Otherwise, leave it there. All right. And since you know more, you want to read more Kashika, read it. I'll leave it to you. I'm not getting too many details here. Okay. All right. So this is what this rule is. Why it's important? Because you see, Bali. You see so many words which are Adanta, which will take E. Mahita, you have a question?
Swamiji, in that sutra, I think the pratyaya they used was thak and not
Oh,
than
okay,
maybe. I
okay,
think
okay.
then
That's it. Correct.
sthanavad
Okay.
bhavaha.
No. Thak means fine. Kit is there. I was saying what Ika, why did he take? It's not Ika, it's fine. That's why I try to look into it. Leave it alone. If it's Thak, we are fine. Because Tha will get replaced by Ika. Ka is with Kit anyway. The Pratyaya is Kit. We're good enough. That's good. That's enough for us. Okay. So I just said it, Ika that Ka cannot be Ithlet. That's all I was pointing out. Because it is not dropped. So Thak makes it fine. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Are you all following? See, I'm just kind of running through words and assuming that you're not lost. All right. Are you feeling lost? Anybody? If you are, you can tell me, all right? Because the purpose is to make sure you follow something. And I see that what is not very particularly important, I don't spend too much time. I just walk through them quickly. Okay, so let's go back to. Are you seeing Ashtadhyaya again? Good. Ata initana. Then what comes after that? Now, see these rules, if you ask why it's there again, there'll be a reason for it. But vrihyadibhyascha. So now what is vrihyadi? One group of words. All right. So if we go and look here, vrihyadi. Okay. So now you will find vrihi. Is it ending in a? No. Ata in it now. Now he's extending it to what? Not anything ending in e. A set of words. Vrihyadibhyascha. So maya, does it end in a? Shorter? No, it doesn't. So now see the words shikha, mekhala, sanya, balaka, mala, veena, vadava, ashtaka, pataka. Nothing is ending in a. So there are a bunch of words which should also take what? Ini arthana. How do they do it? He puts a list of words. He take all these words and you apply this. Vrihyadibhyascha. For these also you'll get initana. So vrihyadibhyaha pratipadikebhyaha inithanau pratyayo bhavatah matvarthe. Matup will come. This is additional. Now he says, it's not that every word will take both pratyayas. Nacha vrihyadibhyah sarvebhyah pratyaya dvayam ishyate. Then what? Kim tarhi? Then what? Shikhadibhyah inirvachyaha. For shikhadi. Okay? So you have to look in the list. Where is shikha? So shikha, mekhala, right? Shikhadibhyah inirvachyaha. Ikan yava khadadishu. So you have to see where is yava khadadi. It comes later. So he says that what? Vrihi grahanam kimarth. Okay, one second. Vadava pataka. So you will find there'll be a bunch of words here. Where is yava? Shikha, mekhala, sanya, balaka, mala, veena, vada, ashta, pataka, karman, charman, ityedebha, ini. He has himself told you what is it. Ini. Then what? Yava, khada, kumari, now. For these, ikan. Ikan is same as tasya ikaha, okay? Nothing else. So, and for the remaining, dvau pratyaya bhavataha, both will be there. So you can see Panini gives you a sutra and says Vrihyadi. In that Gana, he has made three groups. First will take only Ini, second will take only Thana, and third will take both Ini and Thana in addition to Matup. Now, Swamiji, how will I remember all this? Don't. What should you remember? Sometimes some words which are not ending in a may also take Ini or Thana. Means they can end in or ika. This much you remember, we are good. Because you are not going to form these words again. You're going to read your bhashyam or tika and you'll see the words. Okay? That's all that we care for. That can you spot the words? So what will you get now? If you go look at examples, what are the examples? The examples are what counts for us. So you will see what will happen now. Vrihi ina. Vrihikaha. Right? Mayikaha. Mayikaha, a word you will see now and then. Mayikaha means what? Maya asmin asti. Maya asyasti or Maya asmin asti. Mayikaha. So it's not ending in a. Doesn't matter. Vrihyadibhyascha ini pratyaya bhavati. Okay? So once you know that much, we are in business. Shikha, shikin. Shikha becomes shikin. What is shikhi? Shikhi is a peacock. Rudirtha. Shikhi. Has also another word. Keki. Keki is that keka is this call of the peacock. That which is a very high pitched tone it makes. That's called keka. Keka asyasti keki. Chitta keki ghana ghana. Let us know. You'll see. Chitta keki ghana ghana means what? The peacocks make that sound, when they see clouds, ghana. That connection is made there. So, shikhin means a peacock. Can mean something else too. Sangya astyasti. This is again a common word for sangyin. Karmaha astyasti. Karmin. Karminaha. You'll see this word very often. Karminaha. Jnaninaha. Jnanam astyasti. Jnanin. Karma astyasti. Karmin. But jnanam astyasti, it's ending in a. No problem. You need vrihyadibhyaha for karma, because karman is the pratipadika, nakaranta. You could not have applied in or thak to it. Now, karmin. But you cannot get karman plus ika, only in. Word is only that much. Okay? Then he gives yavakhada examples. So, yavakhadaha astyasti is yavakhadikaha. I don't know what yavakhada is, okay? I haven't bothered to look at it. Kumari astyasti iti kumarikaha. Now astyasti iti navikaha. So, this now is one more word. Now, one who has a boat is called a navika. Okay. So these are examples for that. Shirshikaha, another word he gives you example. Similarly, all of them can take what? Matup. So you'll get what? Mayavan, Shikhavan, Sangyavan, Karmavan, Nauman. All these are given to you. So you can get one of the two. All right? Both are possible. So this Ata Inita now and its extension here for us in terms of Vrihyadibhyashcha. Okay, what should you remember? Words ending in a and sometimes words not ending in at can also take ini pratyaya or than pratyaya. Sometimes one, sometimes the other, sometimes both, in addition to matup. That's the way you remember this. Okay? This is used, you know what? Tundadibhya ilach. Tundila means one who has a tund, one who has a stomach. Don't need that word for us. There'll be a few more words like that here. Tundilaha, see, tundavat, udarilaha, vrihilaha. Do we need it? Not much. All right. We can skip this too. Thing in it. Shatasahasranat sahasranta cha nishkat. You will get shatikaha, sahasrikaha. When you look at gold coins, so many of them, 100,000, so you get these words not useful to us. Then you have again Rupad Ahata Prashamsayoho up pratyaya. Let's see the Rupad Ahata Prashamsayoho yap pratyaya. Now, Ahata means stamping. Like you have a coin on which the face of the king is stamped. Ahata. And Prashamsa is very praiseworthy. Two possibilities. And to what word? Only one word. Rupat. So the rupyaha can mean what? That a coin which has the face of a king or some important person stamped, or it can mean that which has a beautiful form. Rupya. Two possible words. One word only, two meanings are there. Rupyaha. Okay. So he's explaining that here. If you want, you can read it through. Nothing much. So he says what? Ahatam rupam asya rupyaha dinaraha. Interesting, the dinar is the currency. And that he's talking about dinaraha. Rupya kedaraha. So Rupyam Karshapanam. Karshapanam is a coin. Rupya Kedara, a beautiful tree. These are the meanings here. Okay. Then As Maya Medha Srajo Vinihi. 4 words being talked about here. What are they? As Maya Medha Sraj. Sraj means a garland or a rope sometimes. Srik. Okay. So Maya, magic. Medha, the ability to retain and understand, retail a whole book. Medha. So these words are important for us. You'll see what are the words going to come from there? Oh, asantaha. So, okay, sorry. See, as is not just us, is it asantaha? Yashas, his first example is Yashas here. So what do you get? One who has Yashas will become Yashaswin. Tapas, Tapaswin. Payas, Payaswin. You'll get any number of words. Asantaha. And then, what do you get after that? Maya, Medha. Sraj is a garland, I told you. So between this, what will you get now? Mayavi, Medhavi, Sragvi. These are the words you will get. So what are we getting here? Vini pratyaya is coming for a bunch of words. Asanta and these 3 words. Maya, Medha, Prat. Maya is important for Mayavi. Mayinam we saw. How did that come? Vrihyadibhyascha. Maya became Mayin. In pratyaya came. Now you're getting Vini. Mayavi. Tasyaika will give Mayikaha. So all these possibilities are from Maya. Keep it in mind. Okay. So Pashikakara says Yashasvi, Tapasvi, Payasvi, Mayavi, Medhavi, Sragvi. Okay. And he further tells you, because Maya Shabda is also in Vrihyadi, you'll also get Mayi and Mayika. Okay. Bahulam means trouble, okay? A lot of things can happen. This is all in Veda. So we are not too concerned about what happens in Veda, but a lot of things can happen within the Veda. So you can see he's given a lot of Vartikas here in pink. But it's all Chandasi Vishaya. Even Kashika is a big thing here. Okay. So I am not getting into it because it's not something we have to get into. Vacho Gminihi. 124 Sutra. Vacho Gminihi. What does it mean? Vachaha asya asti asmin asti. Iti Vagmi. Have you heard the word Vagmi? Gmini pratyaya. That is Gmini pratyaya. Vagmi. Similar to Vachalaha, okay? Vagmi. Gmini pratyaya. So you'll get what? Vak plus Gmin. You will get Chohoku. We haven't seen that sutra. Or we have, I think, probably. So you will get Vagmin. Jalam Shonte. Vagmi. Vagminau. Vagmina. Okay. So see these sutras, if you want to look further, you can just go and look. There's not a whole lot of complication. Just go look at Vasu, you'll get English translation. Okay. So prefix is not min. It is Vagmi, it is Gumin. Right? Just giving you some more reason which we don't have to worry about. Alach Atachau Bahubhashini. See now, Vagmi is probably said in a good way. Now he's saying what? Alach Atachau Bahubhashini. When you talk too much. With Vak, the pratyayas are Alach and Atach. What will you get? Vachalaha, Vachataha. Earlier, what did we see? We saw one more word. What did we see? Did we see one more word? So we saw, I think we saw it in, you see it here, Vartika we saw, right? What is the word we saw? I'm sorry, it's not coming to my head offhand. But we saw another word where I told you Vachala. Where was it here?
Sir, Mukhara.
Mukhara, correct. Mukhara, correct. Thank you. Mukhara. See, these words are not common. So if you see them, you'll remember, but we don't see them too often. But now Mukharaha, Vachalaha, Vachataha. So now if we go back here and look at the Prishtam, let us go to Koshan Veshaha. And if we look for Vag Min, so you sense. So Vagdam is what? Astyarthe Gmini Pratyaha. Prashasta Vakya Vaktari. Praiseworthy talk. Okay? It's a good way I'm saying. Is Vagmi. But if you look for Vachala, sorry, a typo. Vachala, what will you get? Jalpakastu Vachalaha. Vachato Bahugarhyavak. Durmukhe Mukharabadha Mukhau Shakla Priyam Vade. So you can see now, Syat, this is called the Amarakosha. Is giving you synonyms. So Syat is just Asdhatu, Syat. Jalpakat. So Jalpakaha tu Vachalaha. Jalpa means just talking, purging words. Vachataha. Bahugarhyavak. He talks things which are blameworthy, not good. Durmukhe. Mukhara abadda mukhau shaklaha priyam vade. So the point is giving you the meanings. Jalpaka, Vachata, Vachala, Bahugarkya Vach. These are all synonyms for Bahubhashi. Mukhara is also sitting there. Okay. So this is how the words come. Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, in Ganesha, Atarpashirsha, sa Vagmi bhavati, sa Yashovan bhavati, comes as a Palashruti.
Correct. Correct. So Vag means you will talk wisely. You will talk what is Prashasya Vach. Vachalahana bhavati. Correct. Okay. So Vachalaha you can see in dictionary how it gives. Bahu kutsitam bhashate iti. See, you can also say Bahu means he talks a lot. Very nice. He talks very nice. Orator, no. Kutsite. So Sutra is alach atacho bahubhashini. But bahubhashini in what sense? Generally, in useless thing. So he says, subahubhashinyapi jalpakadaya traya vartante. So he gives you more meanings, okay? Vachato, Vachala, Jalpaka, Subahubhashi, Syati Shlokarda Paryaye, Upalitaha, I don't know what it means, okay? Maybe a typo here. But see, if we want to understand the meanings of everything, clearly, we have to go much deeper. We're just scraping the surface. So this is basically giving you an idea as to how we can look at words. All right. Typically, as I said in Upanishad, we will go with Bhasha, we'll go with Tika, we'll see what it means. But sometime in no more meaning, we can pull out something. So keeping everything in view is, let me go back this way, easier. Yeah. Okay. So now, Alach Atachau Bahubhashini. If you look at Kashikara here, what does it say? Vach Shabdat Prasama Samarthat Alach Atach Ityeto Pratyaha Matvarthe Bahubhashini Abhidheye Gminer Apavadaha. Okay. So what is Kashikara says? Kutsita Haiti Vaktavyam. Sutra didn't say. Kashika commentator says Kutsita means blameworthy. Yohi Samyak Bahubhashate Vagmi Ityeva Sabhavati. Nachu Vachalaha. Natu Vachata. But in the dictionary we saw that it looks like Amarakoshakara assumes that in some cases it's okay. But not here. Pani will not accept it. Okay. So you have the word Swamin. So he says what? Swa Amin Aishwarye. So what does it say now? Asya asti asminite tayorthyoho Aishwarye gamyamane. Swamin iti shabhya nipatyate. What is Swamin? It is yours, you possess it. Swa means one's own. For that, the pratyaya is Amin. And it's not a new word. It's Nipatta. That's why Nipatyate. Swamin means you own it. That's why he says Ishwaratvam, Prabhutvam, ownership is the meaning of Aishwarye. In that meaning, the Nipatta word is Swami. I am the Swami of this car. I am the Swami of this computer. But Swami means one who owns it. Okay? This is another common rule. Arshadibhya ach. This rule is also important for us. See, first we saw ata inita now. Most common one. Sorry. First we saw tarasya asti asminiti matup. Main one. Then I'm saying ata inita now is another very big rule. Covers a lot of situations. Now we're saying one more. Arshadibhya ach. Arshadi is a group of words. And for that, the pratyaya is what? Ach. All right. So, what will happen now in this? Examples are Arshas. These are the words. Arshas, Uras, Tunda, Chatura, Palita, Jata, Abhra, Kardama, Ama. Lot of words. And in the last word, it says what? Akriti Ganaha Ayam. This is an important word. Akriti Ganaha means other words which you see in the language, which are not listed, can also be explained away by this sutra. So this you will find examples. Our examples will be what? Yoga asya asti iti yoga. So what happens? Yoga plus ach. You should get what? Should become yoga. No, yasya will apply. First will go, second will come back in. So you'll get what? Yoga plus ach will become yoga again. Are you with me? Yoga plus a. Now the makes it bha. The yoga word becomes bha. Right? And now yasya will apply means what? The at the end of yoga will be dropped. And therefore you'll get yog plus a becomes yoga again. Similarly, papaha asya asti iti papaha. Papaha asya asti iti papaha. Punyaha asya asti iti punyaha. So what does papa mean? It doesn't mean sin. It means a person who has committed papa. And probably lots of it. Okay? Lot of punya. Lot of yoga. Are you with me? So like this, the word will look different. Bhashyakara, you will see in the Gita, yoga hasya stiti yoga. In one or two places, you will see it. So this is arshadibhya ach pratyaya. So wherever you find a Matup-artha coming and the word seems to be the same and ach is being added, you can bring this root, arshadibhya ach, to justify it. Okay? So you can see jata asya asti. What will happen? Jata asya asti.
Jatini.
Why ini? We are saying ach pratyaya here, right? Why ini? Jata asya asti. If you are looking of Vrishyadibhyashta, don't bring it now. I'm only asking you in the context of this sutra.
Jataha.
Jataha. Because a will go, a will come, jataha you will get. So you'll wonder what is jataha? Jataha means jata asti asti, jataha. See, this jata seems to have so many words in our language. Jatilaha, jatalaha. Now jataha, jatavan. How many words are there for jata? Interesting. So Chaturaha asti chaturaha. Tundaha asti tundaha. Lavanaha asti lavanaha. So lavanaha need not mean salt. Lavanaha means which has a lot of salt already in it. It's so salty. Lavana, you just give me salt. Means it's full with salt. That's what it can mean. Kardama is, I think the quicksand. So a place which has quicksand can be called Kardama. So you give some meanings also. Arshas. See, interestingly, this group of words is headed by Arshas. It means piles. That's how it word begins. Okay. And then he gives Atra Dve Ganasutre Patite Staha. Which means, see, within the Ganapatha, Gana is a list of words, a group. Within that, you can have a sutra, which means that will expand to more words. So here he is saying Swangat Hinat. Swangat Hinat. So what does it mean? Ityukte Swasya Hina Angavachibhya Shabdebhya Ach Pratyaya Bhavati. Example he gives Yatha Khanyaha Padaha Asya Asti. Khanyaha means lame in one leg. Khanyaha Padaha Asya Asti means he is lame in one leg. The fellow will be called Khanyaha. Kanaha means one eye is not working. Kanaha Chakshuhu Asya Asti iti Kanaha. So when we talk of identification senses, Bhashyakara will give example, Aham Kanaha, Badhiraha. You will see these words. Kana means one-eyed. Badhira means, deaf. 1 year or 2 years, we should look. But I'm just saying, if there is either defect, one or both, if the defect in the body organ, then you can bring it into Ashadiyach. So you will get Kanaha can mean blind in one eye or one who is blind in one eye. Badira is one who is deaf or deafness in the ear, the defect of the ear. Both can come. Okay. Same thing can also be done with reference to any color. Varnat, it's one more Ganasutra. Varnat means Varnavachakat Shabdat, a word which tells a color that you can add an Ach Pratyaya. So what you get? That which has white. Shuklaha Asya Asminva Asti. Shukla plus Ach will become again Shuklaha. Yes, Shuklaha, Krishnaha. So Krishna can mean white or black or that which has blackness. Or that in which there is blackness. All meanings are possible for these words. So basically, this is like Gunavachana. You remember that word, and that word can stand for itself and that which has it. Okay. So he gives an example. Ayam Shuklaha Prasadaha. So, this building is white. And in which town it is there, that is also called Shuklaha. Some example is given. Okay. All right. I think we need this one. Yeah. Yeah. See, these are about certain diseases which we are not really interested in. This also we don't need. And so this is again not common for us. See, if the child is 5 months old, he's called Panchami. If a boy is 8-year-old, he's called Ashtami. It's not just Tithi, extra meaning, not commonly seen in our world of Vedanta. Okay. So now he's giving you Sukhadibhyascha. So what do you get now? This you can know. Sukham vidyate yasmin. Very common for us. Sukhi. Dukkham vidyate yasmin. Dukhi. It's a gana. Sukhadi ganaha. Swamiji couldn't we have got it with Atainitha now? If it is here, there's some reason. Okay. All right. See, if you want to understand Sutra, I'm saying you want to understand everything. Upavada and every Utsarga. My principle is very simple. Do you understand what is Sukhin now? You're good enough. So to me, whether you know the sutra or not, you know its effect. Any pratyaya you add, you will get it. Sukhi, Dukhi, Tripri, Karuni, Pranayini, whatever these words are all any pratyaya. But if you want to know more, you have to, because it says, he will tell you why it is there. It will be there. See, Sukha ityevamadi pratipadikebhya ini pratyaya niyamyate matvarthe, which means you will not have dukkhamat word. You understand? I told you so far, everywhere Matup will also come. But you won't find Sukhavat. Sukhi only you will find. So this sutra is meant to remove Matup. Not to bring any. Remove Matup. That's really what's going on here. So Sutra has its own ways of doing things. But what should you know? These words won't take Matup. Unless you want to write your own words, you don't have to worry about it. You will never see a word Dukkhamat or Dukkhavat. You won't see it. Therefore, Dukhi you will see. Sukhi aham, Dukhi aham. Have you ever seen Sukhavanaham? Sukhamanaham? No. Why not? Because the word doesn't exist in the language. Sadhu word nasti. Okay? So these are the meanings. So Sukhi, Dukhi is very important for us. But if you look at all the words, they are all just removing the possibility of Matup. So when we only want to understand words, we don't have to worry about Niyamanam so much. Okay? So here again, for the word dharma, is showing you a few things. Brahmana dharmi, one who follows the dharma of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, etc. Not very useful to us in the world today. Hasta jatav. Hastaha asya asti. Everybody, all of us will have hands? No. Only for a species means an elephant. Hastin pratyaya. So you will again not make Hastavan as an elephant. Only Hasti in pratyaya alone. Okay? So Hastin means what? Elephant. Hasti, Hastinao, Hastina. We saw earlier what? Kunjaraha. Now Hastina. Hasti. Not useful. Okay. Baladibhya Matup Anyatarasyam. So I would expect Balavan already is there, but by some sutra he has denied the Matup. Now he's saying we bring back Matup. So again, for us, it's not particularly useful. So if you go look, you will see Baladibhya Pratipadikebhya Matup Pratyaya Bhavati. So because of Anyatarasya, you will get Ini also. So you get Balavan, Bali, Utsahavan, Utsahi, etc. So look, if you want to understand at the level of sutras, then you need to understand which sutra denied it, why did it come back now. But when we only want to know the words with the reference to meanings, we are in a much better shape. We are not writing poetry. Therefore, what you need to know is either you'll get Ini or you'll get Matup. In some case, only Matup. In some case, only Ini. That's enough for us. Okay? This is again not useful to us. Leave it. That's that. Okay. So we have taken care of the whole of Matup-artha in a brief way. 2 classes. Okay. So you understand the range of words. That's important. The range of words. And now, if you have a Bahuvrihi Samasa, like you have word Sarva Shakti, can mean what? Sarvaha Shaktayaha Yasyasaha. Can be Sarva Shakti. Bahuvrihi compound. Now, you cannot see Sarvaha Shaktayaha Asya. Asya means Asya Asti. So if you have a Bahuvrihi compound, you should not be adding Matup-artha again to that. If you do, there must be an extra meaning. And an extra meaning will be what? Nitya Yoga or something like that. Extra meaning must be there. Then it's justified. Okay. So there are some small things like this. Commonly, it won't come, but sometimes in the Bhashya or Tika, there'll be argument based on this. Is it Bahurihi, then why did he add this extra pratyaya? Matup-artha. Bahurihi is enough in itself. When a word can be shorter, why do you make it longer? Then you have to bring an extra meaning for the Matup-artha. Occasionally, you'll see things like this. So if you open Brahma Sutra and start looking Bhashyam, there's a lot of fight about Yushman and Ashmat Pratyaya derivations. So even after studying, unless you study those sections well, you won't follow it. And sometimes grammatical discussions are one more way of fighting a point out because Shabda Shastra. But normally you won't find too much of it. Okay? So this much is the Matup-artha. Now let me see if I can share with you some examples. Okay? Look. Shriman. Oh, I didn't share it. I'm sorry. Okay? Looks like I haven't shared it. Let me make sure I stop and share. Okay, stop. Share, okay. Do you see examples now? Okay. Shriman, somebody help me. What is Shriman going to be? Give me the Vigraha Vakya.
Shrihi asya asti.
Good. Shrihi asya asti iti Shriman. Keshavaha. So what do you mean? What is the meaning of Shriman now? What is Shri?
Wealth.
Shri is Lakshmi or wealth. How much wealth? Something praiseworthy, something not ordinary. It's called a Shriman, like Dhanavan. All right. Keshavaha.
Keshaha, yes.
Good. Vikrami. I've given you the answer there, okay? Vikramaha asti asya. See, this is dictionary. He didn't say asya asti. He said asti asya. Then what did he tell you? Vikrama plus ini. Why do you get ini? Ending in a. Vikrama. Okay? And he gives you. What does it mean? He gave an example. Simhaha. A lion. Why it has got valor? Vikrama. Another meaning is what? Vishnu. Why? Yatha Ishvaro Vikrami Dhanvi Medhavi Vikramakramaha. That ring a bell? Vishnu Sahasranama? Therefore, you know where it's coming from. Iti Mahabharate Anushasana Parvani Tasya Sahasranama Stotre 149th Adhyaye 22nd Shloka. So I feel you should know how to use a dictionary because it will tell you so many things. Right? So now what do you find here? Ishvaro Vikrami Dhanvi. So I picked Dhanvi next. I started with Vishnu Sahasranama just to see. Okay, I told you we'll do that exercise next time. Dhanvi. What is Dhanvi? Dhanuhu. Another word for Dhanuhu is what? Chapaha. Synonym. Dhanuhu Chapaha asti asya iti. Why do you get ini for Dhanu? Ukaranta. Vrihyaditvat inihi. Now, this won't make any sense to you if you look at a dictionary without understanding Sutra. What is Vrihyadi? Extending ata ini dhanau. To non-a ending, short a ending. Therefore, it tells you how it comes. So, what does it mean? Dhanu asya asti means what? Dhanurdharaha. I hold a bow, will I be called Dhanuvan? Dhanvi? No. I should have some claim. What should be the claim to fame? Very well known, like Arjuna. Dhanurdharaha. Yatra partho dhanurdharaha. Tatra shrihi vijayo bhutihi. Dhruvanitir matir mama. Gita. So, Dhanurdhara is not just a bow-wielding fellow, not anybody. That's why Matup-artha, I'm saying you should look at Prashastyam here, extra meaning. So when you translate, we should translate the extra meaning. Then it makes sense. So if I look right now for Dhanurdhara, it will be interesting exercise, okay? Suppose we go to the dictionary and look for Dhanurdhara, what will happen? Let us see. I have not checked, okay? Where is Dhanurdhara? Yeah, well, Dhanurdhara is sitting here. Dhanurdhara. Okay. So now Dhanurdhara. So now Dharati iti dhri plus ach Dhanushaha dharaha. So what did he make here? Dhanusha dhanaha. Dhanurdhari. Because there's compound right now. Okay? The compound need not have the meaning of Matup-artha. Anybody who takes a bow can be called Dhanurdhara. Okay? Anybody who holds a coat. But if you want to call him a Dhanurdhara, then you need something more. Not Dhanurdhara. You want to call him Dhanvi. Dhanvi was the word, right? So we have to change it to Dhanvi. Now you see. So now, see, unfortunately, I don't have other English meanings here. But what I'm saying is there's a difference between the meaning of Dhanvi and Dhanurdhara. Though he says Dhanurdhara, it is a Dhanurdhara who has extra grace, extra skills, very strong person. One who wields a bow is known for it, like Arjuna or Bhima or anybody. Okay? That's the extra in Matup-artha I want you to see clearly. There is something more to it. Yes, Harsha?
Swamiji, will Dhanurdhara be a Upapada Tatpurusha compound?
Correct. That's what we saw, right?
Okay.
See, if we went back now, let's see. Oh, it didn't go there. Or will it go? Let me try. No, it didn't go. Okay, let me go further. See now, Dhanurdhara, what did it say? Dharati dhri. Dhri plus ach. So, Dhanuhu dharati iti Dhanurdhara. But he gave another thing. Dhanusha dharaha. Dhanusha dharaha. Shashti Tatpurusha, I made it here. But he also gave dharati iti dhri plus ach. I had to look if there's any possibility of both ways or not here. Dhanurdharaha. So because Dhanush is the Upapada. Dharati. So dhri plus ach. Dhri plus ach will cause guna. So you'll get dhar plus a from ach. Dharaha. Therefore, it's Nopodat Purusha. Dhanu. See, you have to say Dhanusham, Dhanush, Dhanushi, Dhanumshi. Dhanush, Dhanushi, Dhanumshi. Correct? So now, why he say Dhanusho Dharaha, I don't know. Okay? Dhanush Dharaha would have made more sense. It could be a typo here. This looks like see, Dhanushaha is, see, Dhanush. You have to now go and look for the full declension of Dhanush Shabda. See, Dhanush, let us look. Give me a second, okay? Dhanush is what now? Neuter. But Shashti will be what? Dhanusha only will get Nas. Dhanush, Dhanushi, Dhanumshi. Right? So if you want to make Naupat Purusha, Dhanush should be in what case? Second case.
Second case.
Correct. So second case will be what? Dhanush. Right? So what happens to Dhanush now? So let's go to Dhatu Part. So Shabda Patha. Asti. Napumsakalingaha. Go there. So dhanuhu, dhanushi, dhanumshi, dhanu. So dhanuhu is coming, right? So now he said what? Dhanushaha. To me, it should have been dhanuhu, dharati. That looks like a typo to me. Because he gave the ach pratyaya. It is upadat purusha. But he wrote the vigraha dhanushaha. And that will take me to what? It will take me here. Which doesn't look right. Okay? So sometimes you will find in Vachaspatyam and in the other dictionaries here, there are typos occasionally. Not common, but there are typos. So we have to be alert to that. Okay? Let's go back. Seeing my examples page. So this was went for Dhanvi. Medhavi. Medha asti ityarthe what? Vini. One who has that Medha Shakti in good measure. Atmavan. What does Atmavan mean? Atma asmin swasmin asti. What does it mean? Atma is not Atma. Therefore, dictionary says Chittam. Mind. Vashyataya asya asti. Asti asya. One whose mind is with oneself. You know? Where do you see this in the Gita? You will see. You know? That Uddharet Atmanatmanam Natmanam avasadayet Atmaiva hi Atmano bandhu Atmaiva ripratmanaha Bandhuratmatmanastasya Yenatmaiva Atmana jitaha. Meaning is like this, that one's mind is oneself. That will become Atmavan. I'm sure you'll find the word Gita Atmavan somewhere. I don't remember offhand. But you'll find it. Okay? So that's the meaning of that. So I'm showing you dictionary entries so you know when you look at dictionary, how do you see? When you see this swasmin, asmin, you should know it's talking of Saptami-artha. Matup. Okay? Then Sragvi, Vishnu Sahasranama, Sragvi, Srag asti asya. How did you get this word, sir? As, Maya, Medha, Srajo, Vinihi, Asanta. As is what? We don't need us here. What do we need? We need Srag. Therefore, Srajaha. Right? The Srajaha becomes Srag. So, because of that, you get Vini. What does it mean? Malya Vashishtaha. Malya. Malya, a garland, is called one who is qualified by a garland. Malya Vishishta is called Sragvi. Okay? Lakshmivan. Makara Upadha. Therefore, Lakshmivan, Vakara has come. Kamin. See now, Kamin can mean Kamaha Asya Asti. Okay? But it could come in a different sense in Kridanta also. Nini Pratyaya can come. Suppose I say Pashukami, Dhanakami, then it will be a person who is very committed to getting Pashu or money. That will be a Kridanta. Uparadhat Purusha will come. But here, if I just say Kamin, you could bring it with Kamahasya Sthiti Kamin. So you have to be cautious what meaning we give. Both are possible. Kundali, Kundalam Asya Sthiti, Kundali, Chakri, Chakraha Asya Asti. Right? But he says, what is Chakra? Sudarshana Astram. Extra by a dictionary maker. Okay? Yogin, Yogi, Yoga Asya Sthiti, Yogin, Jayi. See, I put this in red to show you it's another meaning. Jetum Sheelam Asya. Some other sutra. Iti inihi Kridanta Pratyaya. You will get Jayi, one who is used to winning or whose conduct is to win all the time. He wins all the time. Jayi. Or another meaning is Jaya Yuktaha. Means Jayaha Asya Asti iti Jayin. Therefore, you will get what? Kridanta. This second one is Tadhita. First one is Kridanta. Same word will decline the same way potentially. Okay? Bhagavan, you know, I hope. Bhaga asya asti iti Bhagavan. I didn't define it, okay? Vanamali. Vanamala asya asti iti Vanamali. Ini pratyaya. Gadi. See, these are all from Vishnu Sahasranama. Gadi. Gada asya asti. Gita also has it. Kiritinam, Gadinam, Chakrinancha. Kiritin. What pratyaya? Ini. Gadin. Ini pratyaya. Chakrinaha. Ini pratyaya. Okay? Only Natvam has happened. Shankhi. Shankayaha. See, there's a typo here. Shankaha asya asti will mean Vishnu. Shankha asmin asti will mean the ocean. Both possibilities exist. Okay? Nandaka is a sword. Nandakaha. What dictionary fellow says? Dictionary maker. Vidyamaya. So it's not just a sword. It's a knowledge which cuts the ignorance away. Therefore, Vidyamaya asihi. Asya asti iti ini. Gives Vishnu Sahasranama quotation. Shankhabrid Nandaki Chakri Shangradanva Gadadaraha. So Gadin is Tadhita. Gadadhara is Upadatat Purusha. Same meaning. Almost same meaning. Okay? Mani. What will Mani be? Manaha asya astiti manin. Bhaktiman. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Bhaktimat. Bhakti asya asti prashasya. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Shraddha asya asti shraddhavan. Dambhin. Amanitvam adambhitvam. Dambhin will be what? Dambha. Pride, arrogance. When you don't have what it takes to have it. Mana is you have something and you have pride. Dambha is just show. Vagmi, we saw this. Okay? Now, these are examples where it look like it may be, but it is not Matup. Ajnana mardin. Ajnana mardine namaha. Vijnana dayine namaha. Dakshinamurti Ashtotram. What do you see? Ajnana mardin. There it is. You can't say Ajnana mardaha asti asti. There is no such possibility. It is an Upadatat Purusha. Okay? Vijnana dayin. Dharmarthi. Dharmam arthitum sheelam yasya become dharmarthi. It's not a Matup-artha. Nivartin. Ni plus Vritu plus Nini. The ability to move away. Nivartanam. So these are in red, they are not Matup-artha. But they will look like what? In ending. You will think it's any pratyaya. It's not. Okay? So these are just some sample for us to understand how the Matup-arthas are in the language. So we can go into every sutra and spend a lot more time, but the outcome will be not much different. So I feel 2 classes are enough for this job. So you got enough about Matup-artha. And you know, have to remember what? Matup, Vatup, Ini, Thana. 4 main pratyayas. Then what is? Atach, Alach, Lach. So many are there. And Pragyaha we got. But how many can you remember? Will you remember every pratyaya? You may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is when you see the bhashya and you say asya asti asmin, you know it's Matup-artha. And then he will give you prashasyataraha or some word. So you know what it's saying. So you understand it in a better way. Okay? That makes sense? So I didn't share my notes even last time. I will try to. I haven't had time. So I'll put out when I have the time. But whatever I said, if you follow the class, there is nothing more to be said. Notes will only be rewriting it. And whenever in doubt, go, if you want to look at the English meaning, go into that Vasu and look it up. Because Vasu is a clean English meaning. It may not be perfect, but it's good enough. And if you know some Sanskritam, you can follow the basic text followed by Ashtadhyayikara. He explains the steps one by one. You can look at that too. But as I said, minimum what I want you to understand, what will help you, is just remember Matup is in the sense of Tadasya asti tadasmin asti. Understand Matup can become Vatup when it is At, Avarna or Ma as either last or Upadha. Right? Remember when it becomes Bha, then you have Yasyaticha kicking in to remove the last avarna or vowel, basically removes that. Keep that in view. Then remember ata in it now. Ata can become ini, is it in, or tan will become tasya ikaha. All right. Then one more is what? Arshadibhya ach. You add ach and it will remove one if you yasyatya will apply, and therefore it will seem like the same word. And that examples are yogahasya sthiti yogaha, pranahasya sthiti pranaha, papahasya sthiti papaha. Good examples, remember, for us, Shastra wise. Other than that, you have some funny fellows like what? Vachalaha, vachataha, vagmi, drumaha, dyumaha, right? Hasti, kunjara, dantura. They're all funny words. And typically, these words which have a different meaning, if they don't, a different meaning will be in a non-Matup-artha. Matup-artha will not get different meanings generally, which means, dantura is okay, doesn't matter. Vachala, the meaning is different. It doesn't mean one who has talk. It's blameworthy. Therefore, the Matup will not have that meaning. Jatilaha, Nindarthe. Matup, Jatavan will not have that meaning. So when you have another meaning, it will be a different pratyaya typically. This is maintained in the language, which means when you see Matup or Vatup, usually it will have the regular meaning. This Nindartha, etc., will come with some other meaning. Rudyartha will come with some. Rudyartha or Jyotsna, Tamisra. So these, as many as you can keep in your head, you keep. But if you don't have it, not much lost. But these Matup, Vatup, Ata init hanau, Arshadibhyah ach, you keep in your head. Rest, whatever you can accommodate, please keep it. Okay? And now I gave you examples from Vishnu Sahasranama. Now when you see Gita, you find more. When you see our Brihadaranyaka, you'll find some more. Find them as you go. We'll become more familiar. Okay? Any questions? No? Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.